In 1987, archaeologists opened the tomb of the ruler of Sipan in northern Peru. Gold, jade, ceremonial knives. The world was shocked. The textbooks have been rewritten, and the conclusion seems final. Ancient Peru was a world of male warriors, male priests, and male rulers. Women remain in the shadows. This theory has survived for 19 years. On May 15, 2006, in the Chacama Valley, archaeologists discovered something that changed everything. Under layers of clay lies a huge bundle weighing nearly 100 kilograms, wrapped in 26 layers of cloth. Inside lies the body of a young woman. She has tattoos of snakes and spiders on her arms. Beside her lie war clubs and dozens of spears, real weapons used in battle. After 17 centuries of silence, it resurfaces and destroys everything that scholars believe they know about the Moche civilization. They call her the Lady of Cao. She lived more than 1,000 years before the rise of the Incas. Her body is preserved almost perfectly: skin, tattoos, facial features. She is buried under the pyramid of Huaca el Brujo, the house of the sorcerer. Archaeologist Regulo Franco spent 15 years excavating this site. Years of threats from treasure hunters, lack of funding, and almost no results, until a shovel hit something solid underground. After 6 months of careful excavation, archaeologists reached the tomb. One by one, they removed the 26 layers of cloth, interwoven with gold and copper. Beneath them, they find a body, preserved like parchment. And then comes the shock. This is not a male ruler. This is a woman. For decades, scholars have believed that Moche society was entirely male-dominated. Franco himself is convinced that he will find a male ruler. Instead, he finds a young woman with the weapons of a warrior and the symbols of absolute power. Anthropologists have examined the remains repeatedly. No mistake. A woman of about 25 years of age who lived in the 5th century AD. She probably died after complications during childbirth. Next to her lies another young woman with rope scars around her neck, ritually sacrificed to accompany her to the afterlife. The Lady of Cao was buried with war weapons, gold ornaments, scepters, and a ceremonial cup. The same cup that in Moche art priestesses hold during rituals, filled with human blood. Archaeologists have found organic traces in her. This means she wasn't an #39, just a symbolic figure. She performed rituals, commanded troops, and ruled the Chacama Valley. And all this nearly 1,700 years ago. Her body was preserved thanks to the extremely dry climate, a special treatment with cinnabar, and a hermetically sealed burial chamber. Centuries later, her tattoos still look almost fresh. But the most incredible thing is something else. The locals have been calling the pyramid the House of the Magician for centuries without knowing what is inside. It is as if her memory has survived through generations. 3 months after the discovery, Regulo Franco gives a press conference in Lima. Journalists expect a new discovery of a male ruler. Instead, Franco uttered a phrase that went around the world, and quote, "It was a woman, and she ruled," end quote. Shock ensued. Then, archaeologists began to re-examine old finds and discovered more female rulers. In San Jose de Moro, 8 consecutive tombs were discovered of priestesses and queens without a single man among them. Figures that for decades were thought to be male priests in ancient images turn out to be women. More discoveries follow. In 2012, a Polish-Peruvian expedition discovered an intact tomb of the Wari culture. Inside were dozens of bodies, most of them women. The history of pre-Columbian America begins to be rewritten before the eyes of the world. 3 of the bodies are found in separate side chambers. They are placed on thrones in a sitting position, like true warrior queens. They are buried not as servants, but as rulers of an empire that stretched over a vast territory along the coast. Around them lie dozens of other women. Many of them bear signs of high social status. This is no accident. This is a whole system of female power which has long been neglected. Later, a colonnaded hall was discovered in Panjamarca, which had been buried under the sand for over 14 centuries. Its walls were frescoed, and on them was a depiction of a crowned woman seated on a throne. Not a goddess, not a mythological image, but an earthly ruler with symbols of real power. Thus, in just a few decades, the image of ancient Peru was completely turned upside down. This is no longer a single tomb, and it is not an exception. This is a chain of evidence. But to truly understand the scale of the discovery, we must return again to the Lady of Cao. In 2017, forensic reconstructionists reconstructed her face using computed tomography, a 3-dimensional model, and anthropological data. After months of work, archaeologists see the face of a young woman about 25 years old. There is no ferocity, no monster from legends, just the face of a young woman who you can still meet today on the streets of Trujillo. And that, and number 39's, what makes the story even stronger. This woman stood at the top of the pyramid, Huaca el Brujo, dressed in ceremonial robes, with the power to decide fates, wars, and rituals. She was a ruler, a priestess, and a symbol of power. But she most likely died from complications after childbirth, one of the most common causes of female mortality in antiquity. The most powerful woman on the northern coast of Peru was defeated not by an enemy, but by biology. Her tattoos tell a different story. The snakes on her hands symbolize healing and prophecy. The spiders, weaving and destiny. The crabs, the sea and fertility. The jaguars, strength. The moon creature on her body connects her to the most important deities of the Moche. These are not decorations. These are titles written on the skin. Anyone who saw her hands understood who she was: healer, oracle, priestess, ruler, and bearer of sacred power. And yet the world barely knows her. The ruler of Sipan has become a national symbol of Peru. He appears in textbooks, museums, and official narratives. But the Lady of Cao remains much less well known, even though her discovery changed history no less. Her museum is located in a small village far from the main tourist routes. Peru and number 39's most important archaeological find of the 21st century lies in a glass sarcophagus protected by controlled temperature and humidity. History has forgotten it for the first time in 17 centuries. Then she found it again, but she didn't enhash 39, not hear it loud enough. And here comes the big question. If for centuries along the coast of Peru, women ruled, commanded, and performed rituals on an equal footing with men, what happened next? When the Incas came to power in the 15th century, they built a much more rigid patriarchal system. The ruler is male, the warrior is male, political power is male. Something broke between the time of the Moche, the Wari, and the rise of the Incas. Maybe a climate catastrophe, maybe wars. Perhaps a society that has gradually handed over power to military leaders. Or perhaps the reason still lies under the sand, waiting to be discovered. But the fact remains, 17 centuries ago, in the Chicama Valley, a young woman with snake tattoos ruled, commanded troops, and was buried as supreme ruler. We, Dan and number 39, don't know her name. Her true voice is lost, but her body, her weapons, and her tattoos say enough. Everything we think about the natural order of history, who rules, who fights, who inherits power, may turn out to be just a late version of the past. It wasn't and #39 always like this. The world before the Incas looked different, much different, and we and number 39 are only just beginning to understand it. Tomb after tomb, discovery after discovery. The story of the Lady of Cao reminds us that the past is not a finished book. It is a locked door. And sometimes, behind it, stands a woman who has waited 17 centuries to bring the truth back to the surface. If this story made you look at the ancient world in a new way, support the channel. Subscribe, like the video, and share it to reach more people. Write in the comments what you think. Was the Lady of Cao an exception or evidence of a lost system of female power? The story continues, and the next discovery could change everything again.